taught your children how to call 911 if something happens to you or your spouse or a brother or sister? Do they know the address to the house? What town they're in? What state they're in? If you or anyone in the house, the adults or the kids, have any medical issues, like seizures or, epilepsy or anything, just anything, do they know, are they aware of it? Do they know how to give CPR? Do they know if you're on medication? And if so, like what kind, maybe not the name of it, but just what it's for, what your medication's for. Does your kid know what to do if there's a bad guy in the house? Because if you didn't teach this to your kid at a young age, obviously they grow up and they still don't learn it. Okay. So that's how it's done. Let's see what happened here. In the early hours of Monday, 9-year-old Tia Hernlin was abruptly awakened by the sound of gunshot in her Florida home. Alone and frightened, she made a heartbreaking discovery. Her parents were dying. During the subsequent 911 call, Tia was with surprising composure for her age, informed the operator of the tragic events unfolding. The operator tried to comfort her and guide her through the distressing situation. Tia explained she had ventured into her parents' room, witnessing the aftermath of a violent incident with blood on the floor and nearby plants. The devastating turn of events was the result of a grievous misunderstanding. A 33-year-old man named David Edward Johnson, fueled by the mistaken belief that the Hernlins had reported him for illegal activities, broke into their home and fatally shot the couple before taking his own life. Aeneas Hernlin, 29, succumbed to his injuries a day later at a Daytona Beach hospital, while Julie Hernlin, 31, lost her life on that fateful Monday. According to the Volusia County Sheriff, the alleged perpetrator had wrongly assumed that the Hernlins had reported his marijuana cultivation and steroid possession to law enforcement in November. The sheriff expressed concern for Tia's long-term well-being, acknowledging the resilience she displayed during the traumatic incident. Despite the Hernlins' attempts to seek legal protection from Johnson earlier in the year, the court had denied their request for an injunction. The judge cited a lack of evidence for stalking and violence in the allegations against Johnson. Sheriff highlighted the challenge of dealing with determined individuals and the limitations of restraining orders in such cases. The 911 call showcased Tia's more remarkable presence of mind, detailing the terrifying events, also mentioning her pets, a dog named Liza, and 3 cats. The operator, amazed by Tia's intelligence, guided her through the call, assuring her there would be help on its way. Tragically, the incident highlights the complex and sometimes insufficient nature of legal measures in preventing acts of violence, leaving a child to grapple with the aftermath of a senseless tragedy. This child went to the room to check on them. They were covered in crimson, as were the plants. One parent was already deceased, and the other one probably unconscious. And guess what? She called 911. Yeah. 5 years old. Sorry, this is choking me up a bit. So, what's your excuses? You signed a piece of paper? Excuse me? Wow. Wow. Because they can even be in let's say college, university, and not think to call 911 when it's pretty apparent that something's going on in the home and that there's people in distress. So if you didn't teach them to call 911 when they were little, they might not know when they're adults. So this is a public notice from me. Teach your dang kids how to call 911. Like I always say, dial 911, make a cop come. Sorry, I had to say it. But I'm being serious. If they can't call, they don't know how to call a freaking 911 operator, dispatch, anything. I mean, you can do it in your sleep. I could. I talk in my sleep too, so definitely I could call 911. You don't have to. Okay, I'm not going to go that part. What I am going to say, though, is that I believe there's little hoops you got to jump through if you're in a sorority or a fraternity and you are on campus or off. Doesn't matter, apparently. And there is an very much emergency at your home. But wait, what did I remember back then? Oh, yeah, I signed an agreement not to call 911. I've got to call this person first, and then that person calls this person, and then that person gets a hold of this person, and then they come over and check it out, and then maybe they'll call the ambulance and the cops. What? Is there someone in distress? Did you say that there's someone passed out, unconscious? How long do you think they can be unconscious and not get air into their system without having permanent damage or possibly perish? How long do you think? I don't know, but probably not 8 hours. For sure not 8 hours. Unless it's some miracle. So, in that particular case, what I'd like you to do is use your noggin. You know, the head on your shoulders, what you were born with. Because guess what? Inside that noggin of yours are brains. They're supposed to make you think. Apparently, they're pretty good at it, too. But you got to use your fingers. Let your fingers do the walking. Get over there and do some dialing. Think. 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 Do you always do what people tell you to do? Or not to do? Use your brains. You smart frat and sorority people out there. Use your brains. You've got them, right? Don't you have to get a certain grade point average? So you got to have some brains up in there somewhere. And they got to be doing you some good, right? Unless you're sleeping your way through school, which, you never know. I'm not saying you are. Just put, could be. I don't know. But I will say that there is no reason whatsoever not to dial 911 when there is distress in the house that could lead to death, especially. You don't follow any rules that you signed on, your name on a line, a dotted line, when you know someone is dying in the next room. You don't. You call 911. Shall I show you how it's done? Here, let's listen to this little girl.
What made you wake up tonight?
I think I heard a gunshot.
You heard a gun?
Yes, and I see a bullet laying on the floor. I think it's a bullet.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who has a gun in the house?
I don't see the gun, but I'm scared.
Oh, sweetheart, I will not let anything happen to you.
Can you send the deputy down?
I promise I will. And you're only 5 years old?
Mm-hmm.
You are so smart for 5 years old. Wow. Was there anybody else in the house besides you and Mommy and Daddy tonight? Like an uncle or anything?
No, there's no robber in the house.
Okay, well, I didn't think there'd be a robber, sweetheart. Did you have anybody staying over the night with you guys tonight?
Mm-mm.
Okay. There'd be an officer at your front door. I need for you to take your phone with you And walk over to the door and open it for me, okay? And I'm going to stay on the phone with you, okay?
Okay.
You are doing a wonderful job.
I'm through the door and I'm locking it.
Okay, you do let me know when the officer talks to you. Okay, you go ahead. Okay, you talk to the officer.
Talking to the dispatcher? Okay, tell her I'm here now, okay? You can hang up.
Bye, sweetheart.
He's here.
Okay, sweetheart. You be good, okay? Bye-bye.
Ready or not, here I come now. Let's play hide and seek. Prepare to be